Hi, welcome to the Gen X Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether it's your first time or you're coming back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know you have a lot of choices out there. I'm like you. I'm like this. Scroll, 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 stop. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. If you're watching real time, happy Saturday. We are falling into spring. Yes, I know that sounds a little oxymoronic, but we are definitely falling into spring. I'm bringing the sunshine with my yellow sweater. I'm going to be talking about some Nordic mythology, specifically the Nordic goddess of youth, rejuvenation, and commonly associated with spring, Idun. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's just get right into it. Getting my lip mask on from e.l.f. If I can get it close, I make a lot of noise here at my glam station from the e.l.f. Skin Collection. Just the lip mask. I want to get a little something on my face. I've also pulled out a little wipe here from First Aid Beauty. These things are fantastic for, like, you use them after your face wash and, you know, before you start to make up to get that final wipe of impurities off. And you're supposed to go all over the place. I include my ears. I always include my ears. And of course my neck and sometimes the back of my neck. Sometimes I get every bit of moisture I can off one of these. Sometimes I go on the sides of my head because I know I might get some makeup up in that hairline area when I get going. All right, there we go. We're going to let that dry. So what is the inspiration? Why am I talking today? Why are we talking Nordic mythology? First of all, let's put that in context. There's 5 countries in the Scandinavian region that are typically associated with or known as being Nordic. You have Sweden, which is where I am. There's Finland, there's Iceland, there is Norway, and there is Denmark. Those are your 5. And they respect this, you know, Nordic lore, if you will. So it's just, I had no idea when I went to the mall yesterday. I was looking for something. I was looking for a specific setting spray from NYX because I thought that it might be there, and it was not, because I've been on a kick. I've been on it. We're letting that just sit in for a second because it's a good, after that sets, you're gonna find out. This is all gonna make sense why we're talking about the goddess. But I have been on this kick, been using my Milani Make It Last Moisture Boost alcohol-free setting spray because, as I found out, and I shared in a recent video, 70 to 90% of setting sprays have alcohol in them, and that's fine. It helps dry everything down fantastic. We want our makeup to stay in place. But there are brands out there that are making setting sprays, refreshing sprays, spritzes that will set your makeup and not dry out your skin. Alcohol will dry out your skin. And for those of us ladies and gentlemen, if we have some gentlemen here, welcome to everyone, spritzing their face with those, you know, the more vintage the skin, the drier it tends to be, the more fine lines and texture tends to be present, and alcohol will just soak right into those spaces. So I'm sort of on this voyage to to expand my collection of alcohol-free setting sprays. So I didn't find one from NYX. I don't think they actually make one. That was false research. But what I did find is the brand Idun. This brand right here, it's been around. It's a Swedish brand, founded in Stockholm, 2011. Idun Minerals, it's called. I did a little bit of a dive into this brand. It is a very clean beauty brand. It's vegan friendly. It works with dermatologists to make their makeup. It's like a skincare makeup-y kind of vibe, kind of like Glow Recipe claims to be, you know, our equivalent. And the companies might be similar in age. Glow Recipe actually, I think, is a little bit older. But anyway, Idun, I don't know if I'm saying it right. This is the Nordic god of youth and beauty and rejuvenation. So we're going to talk about her in this video. I will tell her truncated story because we don't have all the time in the world. But what I bought from this brand is a travel size, and they had these in the full size too. This ran me about $35 for both of these. Ready Set travel size setting spray duo, because they had 2 in the full size, and I was like, which one should I do? Well, let me tell you what these do, and this is why I bought the mini. I'm always like, just buy the mini, because then you can experiment and know what, you know, when you want to go big. So this is the Ready, Set, Refresh. Okay, it's in this, I kind of like it. I dig this color. It's an all-in-one setting spray. You use it before makeup or during the day to refresh the skin. Remember I talked about in my last video, there's a lot of reasons people spritz, and one of them is just for that we're going to use it now, right? Because it's step one. It's just for that, like, bring the moisture back to your face. No Scent, also known, No Scents. The whole makeup brand is known for no scent. So even if you inhale a little bit, you're not like, and I was trying out a couple of different setting sprays, and some of them were so fragrant. I was like, oh. So this is like the pregame, right? You could consider it like a priming mist, like the refreshing mist, the I want a spa spritz mist, right? This one here, the Ready Set Fix setting spray, this one we're supposed to use at the end of the routine. So through I think throughout the routine, because I like to spritz, and I'm sure you do too, as you do your makeup, beginning, middle, and end type of vibe. I think you could probably use any one of them, to tell you the truth. Maybe the Ready Set Fix would be better because that probably has some ingredients that melt in the makeup. So the Ready Set Fix here, after the makeup to set your look. It's an ultimate fixing spray, and then it just give the directions. I did actually kind of looked it up and compared it to some drugstore brands because it's a higher end than the drugstore. And again, I don't know where they sell it in the US, right? I have one other product from this brand, and I pulled it out, and of course now I can't find it. It is a mini, here it is. It's an illuminating concealer, and it has, I bought it last year when I was visiting here for Christmas, and I did a video with it because I did one video from that trip. It's got like a little brush. It reminds me of Elf has a concealer. I don't know if it's still out there actually. I haven't seen it on its website or in the drugstore for a while. They might have discontinued it, but Elf used to have a concealer that had this like brush-like applicator on the back. It says it's made in Italy. And again, I love this on right here. It's the printing is really small, but I'm going to read it to you. Simply pure and clean. It's like I said, it's a clean beauty brand named after the Nordic god of youth, beauty, and rejuvenation. All right, let's get into this, and I'll keep talking about her. What else I wanted to bring up? I got my Ipsy box. Okay, I know these aren't very exciting. It's like so passe to talk like unbox your Ipsy box. It's been around for a while. Maybe I've been like, sleeping on them, but I still every once in a while will tell you what I get in Ipsy. And so I got my box. This is what it looks like if you're not subscribed to Ipsy or you haven't heard of it. It's a makeup subscription service. It comes in a couple of different tiers of sizes and price range. I subscribe to the box in the $30-some range, and I also subscribe to the little bag. The little bag usually comes with one full-size products and like a bunch of travel size, like 4-5 travel size products. The only thing I have out to share from that mini bag, because the other stuff I've kind of stowed away for a giveaway, are these Glow Recipe under eye sort of like under eye pads, right? The thing about Ipsy in this latest box, because it's one of their spring boxes, is they are doing less and glowing more. I love that theme. I love too how Ipsy actually gives you inserts, and instead of like scroll, you can read, you can rest, you can read, you can rest. The screen's not like moving away from you. Like flash. So basically, you can read about the products that are coming in your bags and boxes, but I love this. Do less, glow more. I think that we should adopt that mantra. I think we should crib it, rip it right off. What do you guys think? Glow less, do more. I said in my last video, one of my last videos, like, we don't have to be tryhards. We do not have to be tryhards. So Glow Recipe was in the glam bag. Glow Recipe was also in my box. I got a full size Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Moisture Cream. So I pulled out some other Glow Recipe products from my collection and some other products that I think will go nice with the new setting sprays from Idun, and just with this, like, do less, glow more theme. So let's get into it. And it's not often in an Ipsy box where you get the 5 full-size products. They pick some for you. You get to build the box, that you get products, that all of the products in the box, you could say, I could do a full face with these. Full stop. Almost, or 75% of a face, which is, I think, where we're at. So I'm going to show you the 5 products. This is product number 1. We got a full-size face cream. It's this Cloudberry collection brightens and glows, hence the theme. The full-size Hey Honey Make It Splash Intense Hydrating Aqua Serum. This lightweight, water-based and oil-free serum serves as a moisturizing booster that releases a burst of hydrating nutrients and promotes cell regeneration, like our Nordic goddess. What else did we get? We got a Defiance Beauty, And it's like, it's an all over stick. What a beautiful color for the spring. And it's supposed to leave a dewy, glowy finish. We got a Summer Fridays lip oil. I don't own a lip oil from Summer Fridays. Summer Fridays isn't a brand that I've particularly invested in. But in my last Sephora saves, I got this Summer Fridays Misty Milky Spritzy Spritz. So that's kind of fun. So this is for, where's my 5th product? Aha! Oh, I have it in my hands. So we've already talked about those. Here's the 5th. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to tell you the story of Idun. Then I got a Vita Tangerine Spotlight Eye Cream. We're going in with that. I was just trying to see if I can, tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a scent, but it smells very, very fresh. The feeling itself, the texture of this cream is very, very lightweight and very thin, but yet not so thin it's like liquid. I like to drag, oh yeah, it's got, I think it probably has green tea. It has something in it that's given like a eucalyptus vibe. I like to take my creams that I use under my eyes because they're typically formulated for super thin, fine, delicate areas like under the eyes. But I also like to drag them down my T-zone, around my my lip contour area, and up there right at the top of my forehead, because that's where I have some of my also delicate, thin, fragile skin. All right, let's go in with the syrup. Hey, honey, what's it supposed to do? Oh, I already read that. I didn't read you what the eye cream does. We're going to go in with that syrup. Oh, dear. It's like white on green. That's so hard to read. It's a lightweight eye cream designed for the delicate skin around the eyes, T-zone, and smile. All right, that's what we did with it. Perfect. I could have written the directions. All right, let's go in with the serum. I'm not going to do a lot because I don't want to like overglow. And I do, I think there, what we want to achieve is this glow from below to the surface, right? So we're setting down all of this, presumably, hopefully all this works well together. Again, wow, we're going with the no scent theme so far. These are not hitting me over, they're not overpowering with any sort of scent. And I know that a lot of you have commented over the years that you're not down with the super scenty stuff. It doesn't bother me. It depends. Like the Infallible setting spray from L'Oreal, as much as I love a L'Oreal, I can't do it. It's too much. So I do have some limits in my threshold of tolerance for scents and products, but I would say it's pretty high. It's pretty high. So if you have a low tolerance for scents, everything that I've used so far is pretty fresh and practically no scent. All right, let's go in now. I'm rushing a bit more. I'm rushing through my skincare more than I would, but sometimes let me tell you behind the scene, and then we're going to start talking about Idun after I get this cream down. Sometimes it's just really hard, right, to fit in a skincare prep and do a face and makeup while hanging out with everybody. And it's the weekend, so I definitely have more time during the week. I've said before, it's grab and go, cross our fingers, we look okay before we get out the door. But on the weekend, I definitely have more time. But that doesn't mean that you have more time. But so we're gonna rush a little bit through the skincare, but this is like the most important step to get the face prepped, for any makeup that you put on. Like, so we're not skipping any steps. We're just letting that, it's just gonna get a little less marinating. But let's start marinating that. Bit I can put on my chin and talk about Idun, and I'm going to be on the lookout for her now. It's so crazy. I didn't know anything. I had this tiny little thing from Idun that I bought last Christmas because it was in a bargain bin, and I liked the applicator and I liked the shade. Okay. And I wanted to buy some sort of, Swedish makeup that I could take back with me at the time I was living in Canada. So I could have like a little lembranza, as they say in Brazil, like a souvenir of the trip. So I just had this little thing. So when I get back and I start reading about the name, it just fascinates me because I do like mythology. I like the idea of all the lore that's passed down. It's so cultural, it's so cultural heavy, and I'm into that. So Idun, how she guarded magical apples and fruits. Usually, like when you look up the story, and I'll put some links in if you want to read about her, she's traditionally associated with guarding magic apples. And so the gods ate her. That was her role. The gods ate her magical apples, fruit, And that's what kept them young. She was married to another god called Bragi. I'm probably slaying these names. Maybe it's Bragi. I don't know. He was a god of poetry. So look, so beauty. Poetry is often, you know, so beautiful and associated with beauty and love and passion and all that stuff. So I think it's like appropriate that those two hooked up. But that's just my opinion. It's not like I'm a god matchmaker. So anyway, there's an interesting story as I took a little bit of a run down the rabbit hole, as I went down the magic hole on our new goddess friend, Idun. It turns out she was kidnapped, right? Like most of the Nordic lore I know is from watching like Thor, the Thor series. Who doesn't like that one? Anyway, in that franchise of movies, if you've watched the Thor movies, Thor's like part brother, I guess, not really brother. He grows up thinking it's a brother. Anyway, Loki is like a trickster. He's kind of like, okay, if there's going to be somebody that's going to go two-faced on you and double cross you, it might be Loki. So Loki's hanging out with these other gods on some sort of adventure, and they got hungry. They stopped, they camped, they found I think it was an ox. All right, we're going to achieve a little bit of glow with my glow. We're going to stick with glow recipe. You'll see me using glow recipe, but remember, do less, glow more. So this, you might not see a massive transformation. I'll lean in so you can kind of see what's going on here, but it may not be too massive. The thing I like about glow recipe is you don't have to, because we're going to get back to Loki and his friends, and the kidnapping of Idun, but it's not super pigmented like some of the ones out there, like I don't know, I want to say elf, I want to say like especially like the self-tanning ones, like Charlotte Tilbury did a sort of a glow island paradise glow drops. Anyway, the idea was, though, like every day you put a little bit on until you get the color that you like. So there's all kinds of different glow drops out there, drunk elephants. But the thing that I like about Glow Recipes, and as I said at the beginning, Glow Recipe is a brand that tries to be mostly skincare, but they're delving into their makeup-y stuff with products like you just saw me use, or their fleshy blushes. But you don't have to worry about too much pigment. I guess that's what I'm getting at. A lot of the bronzing drops, they'll say straight up on the packaging, like, mix this with your moisturizer, because they know that it's going to be too strong to stand alone. Whereas I feel like this Glow Recipe, and I've tried it to the max. I've done like a couple of applications in a row, layering, building layers of this. And and especially when you use a beauty blender, and it just really blends into the skin, gives that glow, gives a tiny bit of like a bronzy, flushed look with ease, without being patchy. It just melts into the skin, and I think that's what Glow Recipe is about. Here we go. See, here's my Idun. Here's my Idun concealer. All right, so getting back to Loki. Loki, there's the shade for you. It's a little runny, but that's okay. I don't want it to be super thick. Loki and his buddies camp out. They're super hungry. They find this ox. They kill it. They're like cooking it up, and it won't cook. It won't cook. It won't cook. They're like, what the heck? This thing won't cook. Turns out some owl flies down. Now we're talking Greek mythology, okay? I'm going in. I'm just going to do this color correcting concealer in the inner parts of my cheeks and around my nose and down my T-zone, where I tend to have like the most need to smooth out. So the owl comes down and is like, hey, like, I'll help you. Like, I have magical powers and I have prohibited you from cooking your meat. So if you want your meat cooked, you need to help me out. You need to do me a favor. And so Loki's like, okay, what do you want? And the owl's like, I want you to go back to your home, Asgard, and I want you to kidnap Idun, and I want you to bring her to me. And if you do that, then I will, like, whatever, you cook the meat. So they're like, okay, whatever. So Loki agrees to this, right? They eat, blah, blah, blah. He goes home to keep his end of the bargain, Loki. He kidnaps Idun, tricks her, tells her that he found a fruit more magical than the one that she guards that works better. Come with him. I will take you. I will take you to this fruit. She goes with them, right? Like, they're buds, right? Everybody's supposed to be able to trust one another. I was just going to point out too that, and I just did a video with the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, but it is another fantastic product for bringing a little bit of glow. I don't want to overdo the glow, because do less, glow more, but let's just put a tiny bit on the cheeks. I have to shake it up because I don't have a ton left. There we go. So anyway, where was I? Oh, Loki. Loki, yeah, tricks Idun into going with, to look for this fruit that he's promised is better than her own, and takes her to the lair. Now, the owl wasn't really an owl. The owl was a giant in disguise. Takes her to like giant land, okay? Drops her off and is like, there, I fulfilled my end of the bargain. I'm out of here. So there she is. She's kidnapped. She's been kidnapped. Back in Asgard, all the gods are getting, they're like noticing they're getting wrinkles and they're getting fine lines. And they start to think that they're aging. And they are, because she's not there to, like, I don't know, do her thing that she does with the apples that make them magical so that nobody ages. And so I don't know how they do it, but they get it out of Loki that he is responsible for what's happened. So I tell Loki, like, you made this mess. You need to clean it up. We don't want to age. I'm going to go in. I'm going to start lining my lips. We're going to go in with one of Elf's, very affordable. I think I misquoted. These used to be $2. Now they just got jacked up to $3. And Elf on their website, I noticed they're doing like a bunch of their, I don't know, I wouldn't say hero because that's so subjective when you say hero products. But Elf is advertising like $5 for some of their more popular products. I don't know. I just did an Elf order, so I was like, I'm not going to do it. I didn't even go look at like what they're offering. But anyway, so Loki, he gets, this is how he gets to the land of the giants. Another like pseudo god, like if you look her up, her name's like Freya. She's interesting. She's like their promiscuous, like pseudo god, part god. She hangs out with the gods, but I don't know if she's a full god. Anyway, she has magical feathers. She gives these feathers to Loki. So he turned into, they're called like hawk feathers. So he turns into a hawk. He flies to giant land. This is, you know how like sometimes in a movie, and I just told you like last weekend we went to see, we need a spritz. Let's do that. Let's try the, I hope this one doesn't have this. So this is the ready, set, fix. So I'm thinking this is the one we're supposed to use at the end, but I'm going to use it kind of here in the middle to melt that in. So yeah, so Loki gets the hawk feathers, he flies, and I was saying, like at the movies last week when we saw Mission Hail Mary, there were some parts of this particular movie where it was kind of like, come on, like that's unrealistic. Like, how did you get to that point? That's like movie magic, but nobody's going to question it because you're in a movie, right? So this is part of the story of Loki going back to find Idun, or to rescue her, I guess, after he left her for for goners. The giant was conveniently out fishing, so he found Idun sort of available to be snatched back. He turned her into a nut. I don't know how he does that, but Loki's a trickster. Like his is known for tricksterness. He turns her into a nut. He flies her back, and I guess all is well. But I mean, so that's the story of Idun. I think it's completely fascinating. And so I'm going to go in with this glow recipe, Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush. You can use this on your lips too, but I want to use the new Summer Fridays on my lips. But I was thinking we just go in and get like a little bit of flush. But this, like the bronzing flush product from Glow Recipe, is also gonna just, it's gonna sink right into my skincare. So it's not highly pigmented, but it does give a little bit of a flushy flush. I'm gonna go ahead and use my beauty blender, and especially since I'm using my beauty blender, even less is gonna pick up, but that's okay. Like, look, we got the flush, and I want to go over it. I want to go over it with the Defiance by, I can't even read the name, Neckman. We can look on the paper. That's what the paper's for. Anyway, that is, who knew? So the goddess, sorry, associated with spring, when I go down the rabbit hole and I read about it. So now I'm wondering, since it's spring here in Sweden, it truly is. Did I say this company's been around since 2011? I can't remember. And it was born right here in Stockholm. Like, that's the part of Sweden that it was conceived in. Anyway, I'm just starting to wonder, as we're going to start having spring festivals leading up to summer, midsummer, which is June 21st this year, I think, June 21st. So the Nordic countries really, I lived in Denmark for 3 years. So I could tell you too, in Denmark, they just really cherish the sun. They cherish their spring. They cherish, they appreciate the blooms. They keep everything clean. There's like no litter here. Imagine that. There's no ugly litter on the side of the roads. They just respect they have a lot. Okay, to be fair, especially Denmark, all of 3 million of them. It's such a small country. Iceland too. They have less space to cover than like as we do in America. It's larger, and we can't control north, south, east, west, middle. We can't control, it's so big. So it's hard for us, I guess, to be a litter-free country. We try harder. I think this is one thing that you could be a try-hard in. Try hard not to be a litter bug. Anyway, it's just so clean here, and the spring and the summer is really, really cherished and appreciated. I think maybe more so than other parts of the world, just because it does get awful dark. There, now this is the Defiance Beauty. I don't see what shade you can see. It's in the shade Afterglow Silk Peptide Blush, and this one says made in China. The Idun said made in Italy. So because they're dropping stuff as usual, because they're cherishing their precious months, March, April, May, June, July, August, and the fall here is beautiful here as well. I'm starting to wonder if, as these festivals come up, because I'm going to go to them. There's one I think that's coming up that celebrates some sort of bonfire. It's not Burning Man. Anyway, I'm going to start looking for signs of this goddess, because this is her time to shine. Like literally, it is the spring in the Nordic region. She is the goddess of youth and rejuvenation and beauty. So I'm thinking she's going to show up in like advertisements or something. All right, let's go in. Oh, you know what fell and we need it? It's the Summer Fridays. It's the Summer Fridays lip oil. So hold on, I'll be right back. I don't think I'm going to powder. I don't think I'm going to use powder, because going into the summer, here, what shade is this anyway? Going into the summer, I don't usually use a lot of powder. Dream lip oil. Okay, wait. Something Blush Dreams. Sorry, I just covered my face. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of mauve-y. Oh, wow. It looks wet on. I would say it's glistening. What if I put a little on my cheek? I wonder if you can do that. I'll just touch it in with my fingers. Just dab, dab, dab. All right, I gotta get out of here. Like I said, I'm not gonna powder up, do less, glow more. That's the theme. I feel like we got there. One other thing, if you're still tracking, I'm gonna do an all over fluffy brush. If you're tracking the Amazon spring sale, I will link some of these products. And I want to say I just got in the mail my Cool Angle extra large puffs. I started with a Tap That puff from Sephora. Love this thing. It's a hybrid between like a powder puff and a beauty blender, but I found them on Amazon from this brand Cool Angle, and I only had the medium size. So this is one that I've washed a couple of times. Okay, this is what I also restocked on. This is what it looks like, I guess, brand new clean. So I just wanted to say, like, you can get these. They clean up really well, so you don't have to throw them away. But I was super excited to get the bigger one. Let's use it since I'm super excited. So I'm following through with that. I could do a little bit more color correction under my eyes, but let me tell you, like in real life, I don't know. In real life, I still have my imperfections. I can see them. I didn't completely get rid of the redness under my nose. I meant to use some of my Bubble Secret Agent color corrector under my nose. Okay, so I mean, I still have that. I still could be a little bit brighter. Oh, speaking of being a little bit brighter, we're not done. We are not done. We haven't even done the final spray. While I was at the mall and while I was in the store where I bought the Idun setting sprays, I also bought a Maybelline Eraser color correcting concealer. I love these things. I have never purchased them though in like the greens and the purples and the whites and the other color correction. I don't know, hues. I do know hues. That's the word I want. This Bubble Secret Agent stuff. I'm going to go right in here. Oh, it's the Bubble Secret Agent like corrector in green feels like skincare. It's not pasty or chalky at all. So it's blending in. It's not getting total rid of my imperfections, but it's it's helping cover a little bit. I'm going to go back over that area with the Idun concealer. Anyway, so I bought a purple one. I bought it in purple because in a recent video I was talking about, I saw this hack online, how like if you have too yellow of a foundation or you want to add a little bit of brightness to some part of your face, that you should go in your color correcting bag and pick out something in the purple hue. So I was like, okay. And I love these things. I love the formula of these. I have them just for color correcting, like closer to my skin tone. They have like the pink one. I have the pink one, and I don't know the shade of the other one I have. Anyway, so now I own a purple one, and I'm super, super excited about it. I'm gonna go in. It says on here, brightens sallow, SALLOW skin. So it, like, again, the purple, I guess the moral of the story is that purple will bring, if you've got something purple in your color correcting kit and you want to bring brightness to a certain part of your face, you could try, just experiment, go in with that purple hued product. All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're well. I hope that your family is well. We're going to go right in from the applicator. And I sure do appreciate you hanging out with me here at my glam station because, like I said at the top of the video, I know you have a ton of choices out there and you chose to hang out with me, and I appreciate you. I truly, truly do. So have yourself a great day, healthy, happy, all those things, all the things to you and yours. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.